Flame on. How's everybody doing tonight? I'm here with my co-host, Nick Lenz. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good.
And today we're reviewing an almost 20-year-old comic, House of M.
Yep, written by Brian Michael Bendis. And let me look up basically who's the artist of this book because um, I was telling this to Jay Heat prior to the start of this that this was the first crossover that came out when I started reading comics. This came out in 2005. It's well remembered crossover. I think it's a crossover people do love. Oh, Oliver Capelli did the artwork. Excuse me. And the covers are amazing. And it's 5 issues, surprisingly. It's not 5, it's 8 issues. Had a bunch of tie-ins. So after the events of this assembled, oh, you bought Thor on us. Awesome.
How you doing, Nemo?
Yeah. So basically, Scarlet Witch taken to Genosha, where Xavier and Magneto, Scarlet Witch is started before the stupid retcon that happened in 2014 with the whole thinking, oh, that Scarlet Witch Quicksilver are related to Magneto, even though they should be. Stupid Fox blood feud. Anyways, it's can't do anything more with her. I mean, she's suffered from a psychological breakdown, and I think Linkara pointed this out though. Why not contact a psychiatrist? I mean, there is one in the Marvel Universe, Doc Samson. He's still alive. He doesn't die at this point for another 5 years. He died in 2010 in the World War Hulk's crossover. Yeah, he got turned into a skeleton.
How about that?
Yeah, Greg Pak killed him off. This is before that. So maybe that I think it's on our docket. Infinite Crisis.
Yes, that is. We are planning on that soon. Just
Yes.
want to go ahead and confirm that now.
Yeah, and that that crossover came out. There was I heard there was a I don't remember this happening, but there was a misconception people have had where Infinite Crisis and House of M at the same time. If you look at the release dates for both crossovers, Infinite Crisis came out just after House of M wrapped up.
Yes, it was like the final issue. They were like back to back.
Yeah, but they weren't exactly published in the same exact time. DC wasn't doing a crossover in 2005, not a big one per se. The only crossover happened in 2005 was War Games. That was in Batman comics.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, the Avengers have returned in the pages of Brian Michael Bendis' New Avengers book, which that is our docket to do also. That's going to be very interesting to discuss that one. And also they're here with the lineup of the Joss Whedon, John Cassaday Astonishing X-Men team, which is comprised of Cyclops, Wolverine, who was also New Avengers, Emma Frost, Kitty Pryde, Beast, and I think Colossus had just come back to life at this point. He had just come back to life, and they've been dead for about 5 years. He died releasing a cure for the legacy virus of all things. And he was brought back. There was something going on in the title itself was leading toward, it was a big part of the Joss Whedon book, basically his resurrection. So basically they come together in Genosha and they try to figure out what to do. And then Quicksilver shows up because of his sister, and Scarlet Witch is going nuts. And then the world changes, becoming the House of M. The world where mutants are the boss and the non-humans are treated the same way mutants are treated in the regular world, where basically this world is kind of bizarre, to say the least. So Magneto is rule of the world with the House of Magnus family, which is comprised of Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver, Speed and Wiccan, who are actually there as, well, Magneto's grandchildren. Charles Xavier is presumed dead. Spider-Man is an actor who is claiming the mutant. Cyclops and Emma Frost are married, and Cyclops, his occupation is that he's an airline pilot. Let's see. Captain America's old. He never was frozen. He still basically, they later revealed that he actually, when he got his memories back, couldn't fight because he's an old man body. Iron Man is a gladiator. Those are probably thinking, where's Thor in all this? Thor was dead. He is not involved in the story at all. Luke Cage was leading resistance of crime fighters, which one member is actually
Wait, never mind. This was prior to that reveal. I'm thinking of leading up to post Civil War One. This was before that. This was before all that. Continue.
I think the lineup of his group was, I think it was Cloak. Dagger was not there. Don't know where Dagger was. Resurrect the Hawkeye, who he does remember he died, then he came back. We'll get to that later. Trying to think who else part of the team. Kingpin was there in that world, but except he was thin. Like he was much more slimmer than he is in the regular reality. Nick Fury was dead. He got killed by this world's version of Wolverine in combat by Wolverine stabbing him through the ear. Ouch. SHIELD is a pro-mutant organization, and the Sentinels are working for them as their enforcers. And Wolverine is leader of this Red Guard, where Mystique is his lover. Nightcrawler works for him, and Rogue. Trying to think who else was it. And Wolverine is the first person to notice when he wakes up in bed with Mystique. He's like, what the heck is going on here? So he jumps out the SHIELD helicarrier and eventually meets up with a woman who becomes a primary player in Peter David's X Factor, Lila Miller. I know everything. And her power is to simply restore people's memories. And this does, there was one revelation here. So Apocalypse is a ruler of North Africa. He's got his 4 horsemen, and one of his horsemen is Iceman. Cat the Brit is the ruler of the United Kingdom, which that's kind of interesting. It kind of makes sense because he's British. I think what else was there. Fantastic Four, they had their own thing. They had a very tiny role in this story. They didn't do much anything at all. The cast of New X Academy X, they were like trainees of SHIELD. Trying to think what else was there. Hulk was just a drifter in Africa. He didn't do much in the story. He had his own thing going his own time. He did very little in the story. Though when the result was restored, he woke up in bed with the female Scorpion's mom. She was agent of Hydra. It was a weird thing happened with him. As for why he was sharing bed with her, never revealed. It's just like, they are in bed together. Why? No idea why. Peter David wrote the story. I think it was his last story he wrote for the book. So Lila's working with Wolverine to lock everybody's memories. Hawkeye remembers, he died, and Scarlet Witch responsible for his death. Cap, of course, get restored. His memories restored, but he can't do anything. Spider-Man, basically, his memories get restored. He apparently uses restored memories to write a journal of the real life, and apparently in his book, where he's immune, supposedly immune, but he's not really immune. He's married to Gwen Stacy. They have a kid together. Ben Parker is alive and well. And, there's a Green Goblin in the book, except it's actually Peter. And Peter, at one point in the book, decides to randomly shave his head. Do you remember this, Jay?
I do.
It's, so random. I need a shave today. And he's bald. I'm like, why? And by the way, this is never addressed in the main book. He just, gets his memories back and he's perfectly fine. Though, if he's bald in the main series, it's never really explained. It's really kind of weird. So, recruiting all the characters. Adam Frost is like, who are you? What do you do in my house? And then Remember's like, hi, guys. Okay. So, then throughout the book, they're, of course, fighting, of course, SHIELD. And then, of course, Mystique kind of joins his side, kind of. So then they decided to go to Genosha to figure out what the heck is going on, what caused all this, and then they supposed to get to Xavier's grave. And I think it was Cloak who went to the grave, and he finds out Xavier's not here. Where's Xavier? And then it's discovered, oh, Scarlet Witch maybe the one did this, but this is caused by Quicksilver. Which, of course, then after Quicksilver is shot, Scarlet Witch says the infamous 3 words, "No more mutants," which has been parodied a lot over the years. Those 3 words. Like Linkar, when he reviewed this story, he put on the thing, "No more events." Marvel's like, no, we have to do events because basically we need the money. DC's like, yeah, we'll do events. We do it because you want to, not because it's worth money. I remember this comic, they actually poked fun of this, like, this is no more mutants, no more powers. Yeah, they poke fun of this meme so much. And House of M got extended like a lot. Like they reveal like
this book got dragged out. The original commission was like a miniseries, but this got dragged out for almost 2 years.
Yeah, there was like a House of M time for like Civil War. I think it was like Hood's gang got involved in the story somehow. And they also revealed when they started the Skrull invasion, this happened. When the Skrulls arrived, the world hadn't changed. And Miss Marvel, Carol Danvers, she was dressed as Captain Marvel in the reality, though she didn't become Captain Marvel until 2012 with an outfit that the Marvel decided to have her lose all muscle mass. And they gave her a weird haircut too.
Yeah. Let's just say the character was more popular as Miss Marvel. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say on that.
Mm-hmm. But, and then all these powers had to go someplace. So I think they were I think it was Doctor Strange and I think it was Dr. Voodoo managed to hold off a lot of mutant power. So the mutants that were there were like a bunch, and then they were reduced down to 198. And then the powers went someplace like, it's like, we're gonna have this in a Fallen crossover. No, this was a story arc of Pages of New Avengers where this resulted in the creation of a new Guardian, which led a version of Weapon Omega, who was a postman in Canada who got the powers. And the cover for the story was, Magneto, it's New Avengers versus Magneto. Magneto's not involved in the story. He's depowered. Because all of mutants lose their power. Some do keep them. Like a lot of the main X-Men do. In the aftermath of this, Wolverine's lost memories. They've been lost for years. He gets restored. One big thing for him, he finds out he has a son. This results in the creation of Daken. Onslaught came back to life. Except they said to have a mini-series where it's confined to a version of the Negative Zone. Somehow. It's kind of weird. And a lot of mutants lose their powers, and some just up and die. The Blob becomes really bizarre with the Blob, where he's like because he's like so chubby, and he becomes like just skin. And Wolverine tries to stab him, he gets nothing. He gets skinned. Eventually, he does lose the weight, and then he puts it back on later. Marvel didn't know what to do with Blob. Some mutants did die after this. Unis Untouchable died in this Son of M miniseries, which came after the whole thing wrapped up. Which we had this dissemination afterwards, which we had the debut of X Factor, which turned to be a really good book by Peter David. We had new Excalibur show up. That was done by Chris Claremont. And in the X books, well, in X-Men, basically, we have the Sentinels show up at the Xavier Institute, except not there to attack them, but to protect them. Because this was the debut of the Organization of One, Office of National Emergency, which this was a thing in the X books for about 2 years, until the stuff of Messiah Complex happened and the Sentinels were all destroyed. And also, the Sentinels had human pilots, which was completely new for the Sentinels. Magneto was depowered, and he stayed depowered until about 2009. Actually, no, he got repowered in the X-Men 500, and then joined the X-Men just about a year after that, where he kind of reformed, kind of. Xavier got his legs restored; he could walk again, and he didn't do a lot after this. He was involved in some stuff. Mostly, he was confined to X-Men Legacy until the events of AVX, that was. Which that's an event we'll get to another time. But there's no denying House M was good, except that the tie-ins were just plain odd. They had it's like so really kind of weird ideas, and you would think tie-ins would expand upon the main series. The tie-ins were just there. They were just there for a cash grab. It just seemed like if you read the whole event, it's like the only thing you should read is just the main event. The tie-ins, I would say the only tie-ins that, in my opinion, were really good. I like the X-Men tie-in because Chris Claremont wrote it, which that was Sally his X-Men book. I liked New X-Men Academy X, like their tie-in. Wolverine's.
Spider-Man's tie-in was pretty good.
Yeah.
Especially his crash out when he returns to the main reality and loses Gwen and his family.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And the weird thing is, that whole thing is never addressed in the Spider-Man comics. Never is. But you would thought that would be addressed, but it's like the rare at the time, like, I think it was JMS still writing the book at this point. He's like, I want nothing to do with this at all. I'm not bringing this up at all. I'm doing my own thing.
Which was probably for the best, because if you actually was keeping up or reading his run at the time, throwing that in there would have added a huge can of worms. So it was better. No, we'll just do this one tie-in. We'll briefly reference it, and we'll move on.
Yeah, the only book that actually referenced this book was New Avengers, and I think also the X books. And that was it.
Now, in other appearances, Peter was still mad about this for a hot minute, but it was never brought up in that run specifically. Outside of that one tie-in, it was never brought up again until a new creative team came on board.
Yeah, and House of M is definitely an event that, as far as I can tell, they have never really adapted this event for any kind of media.
You could, and before I know this is going to come up in the comments, no, WandaVision was not an adaptation of House of M. If anything, it completely stripped it bare, so it could tell a story about grief and mental health and just someone snapping in their despair and relishing in their worst impulses.
Would you say it was a tiny adaptation?
I would say it was inspired by it, but I wouldn't say it was an adaptation.
Yeah, but there's never like, would this be a good for like a standalone movie? Not live action. No,
not live action. You would have to do, if you were going to adapt House of M proper, it would have to be animation.
Yeah, I would probably not have the movie last for 70 minutes, because the Marvel movies basically had this reputation where it lasts for like a little of an hour and then done. It's like they just did not want to commit to. I think the only lengthy one they released was Planet Hulk, but that didn't adapt the full story.
No.
Yeah, Marvel, when it comes to adaptations of their own work, they didn't do as much as DC does.
No. They
as to the reason for this, lack of interest at the higher ups. It's like the only thing get adapted for any movies has been Planet Hulk.
Arguably, that I would see that Hulk's role in Thor Ragnarok might as well have been compared to Planet Hulk. I would see that more as a glorified cameo, but I get your point.
Yeah, that's a movie. I know that the first arc for Ultimates was adapted. It's Ultimate Avengers.
Winter Soldier, that was a direct Winter Soldier was actually a direct adaptation for the most part.
Yeah, but as for animation, just only 2 that I could think of. Everything else was just, it's like this is part of Marvel for animation wise. It's like this is something that Marvel never put any effort into at all, with the exception of a few times. I know that I think it was Hulk versus Wolverine. that had a lot of nods to Deadpool comics. That one,
Mhm.
and plus, from what I heard from Rob Liefeld, that was animated by his own artist, Chap Yape. He gave a private screening for him because he brought him to comics, and because this was the first time Deadpool had been properly animated. They decided to use him there, and he invited him there because Rob Liefeld created Deadpool. And it was a good movie, Hulk versus Wolverine. Hulk versus Thor, which is odd.
I could
some
I
reason
could see
that Hulk versus Thor was actually referenced in Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
hmm and I could see why they made it a double feature, because if you compare the two, if you genuinely compare them, Hulk versus Wolverine is the stronger of the two, hands down.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I would say Hulk versus Wolverine is more iconic. Thor versus Wolverine is okay, but it doesn't really focus on the fight between them that much. It's mostly a petty scheme by Loki and Enchantress.
Yeah, it was actually.
But
I think you said Thor versus Wolverine. I think you mean Thor versus Hulk.
Thor versus Hulk. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Correct me on that.
Yeah, and there's been miniseries dedicated to this fight, and they even had a crossover called Banner of War, which was a cross between Hulk and Thor by Donny Cates, which sadly put this unintentionally had him leave the book temporarily. You probably think some people like, oh, was he bummed up by the story? No, he got into an accident. And apparently he suffered partial memory loss because of it. I talked about this. He does remember the accident, and he does remember the run. Though this was after the accident. I remember before this happened. This might people have problems with Donny Cates. I personally have a problem with the guy himself or his writing. It's just that of all the books he wrote, his Hulk book was weak.
Yeah.
I did enjoy his Thor work. Thor
was amazing.
Yeah.
Just his Hulk run was a little weak in comparison.
A spaceship. That was weird.
But Cameron makes a good.
Did you notice basically the bridge inside of his head looked like the bridge of the Enterprise D? I thought that was kind of interesting. He did that.
Cameron makes a good point. I thought the reason was because Marvel sold their rights, so a lot of adaptations couldn't be made. You're okay to an extent, yes. They live action distribution. They sold the rights. Animation, comics, miscellaneous merchandise. They were able to keep those for the most part because Marvel filed bankruptcy after the collector's market burst. I want to say it was 91 or 92. I could be wrong on that.
It was 96.
Oh, it was 96. I always thought it was 91. Thank you for
91 was basically where that was a big era for comics because basically that was a high selling point for comics. So that was 92 is when Image formed.
Oh, okay, that's why I got it confused. Okay, but 1996, Marvel did what they had to do. They made 96. The best. 96. Thank you. They made the best out of a bad situation. They sold the rights. I believe Spider-Man got Sony, X-Men and Fox got X-Men and Fantastic Four. Universal got Hulk, and I believe there's a fifth one, but I can't remember.
I think Ghost Rider went to Fox as well.
Ghost Rider went to Fox as well?
I think it did.
Okay.
The one thing about Ghost Rider, the movie itself, I think it was the first live-action Marvel movie did not feature a cameo by Stan Lee.
You're right.
And the reason? He had nothing to do with the character. Though he cameoed in Venom, which you probably think like, why would he cameo Venom for? He created John Jameson. And he, I think that's the only character he created proper to the movie I could think of. Most everyone else were creations of other people. Like Venom was a creation of Tom McFarlane and Image Laney, along with some other characters. But John Jameson was the only one he created
out of that core group. And even with J.J. Jameson, that was a glorified cameo.
Yeah, it was nice to see him. And
it was nice to see him.
It was also really cool. He interacted with Tom Hardy. That was really cool.
Oh man!
It seemed like whoever really interacted with Stan Lee on screen, it seems like they just had a blast with the guy. Like there was a scene with in Captain Marvel where he's reading his script from Mallrats, and Brie Larson looking at him, he's smiling. But it's obviously Stan Lee. Anybody can tell by the voice. Even if you can't see his face, that is clearly a Stan Lee cameo.
Mm-hmm. But back to what I was saying.
Which is also a cameo right after that by Kelly Sumonic. The most random cameo. It's like, oh, here's Kelly Sumonic. Like, unless you know what the woman looks like, people are like, who's this random red hair woman that Captain Marvel was looking at? Oh, that's the woman who gave her identity of Captain Marvel.
But yes, the licensing issues did force the early stage Paul Mutter and the early showrun and the early stages of the MCU to get creative and hit the ground running. But I will say, Hulk, I'm kind of mad that Hulk only got one film outside of, being an ensemble for an Avengers. I know you don't want to, Hulk 08 pretty much flopped to the box office and you didn't want to lose more money giving Universal a cut or at the very least pay the licensing fee. But
Hulk, did you see the brand new day trailer?
I did. I was very intrigued by it. But make it a long story. Yeah. I mean, they can do a bit more now because the license lapsed because Universal didn't renew it and they didn't crap out a Hulk movie in an attempt to keep it like Fox did.
Yeah,
and the less said about Fan Force, the better.
Universal has the right to say no to distribution. I think that's it.
Wait, Universal has the right to say no
for distribution, not to make a movie.
Okay.
Because people, it's confusing with the Hulk, where it's assumed that Universal has all the rights, even though Joe Quesada himself has clarified, no, Marvel owns Hulk. It's kind of the same thing with Namor, where people assume he was on Universal. Nope, it's Marvel. They
just have distribution. They have to go to Marvel has to go to them. Hey, we want to adapt Namor, or we want to adapt Hulk. Do we have permission?
I don't think in the case of Universal that it's not adaptation. I think it's that they don't have any rights to the character at all. Because Universal did nothing with Namor.
Well, I mean, without the Fantastic Four, I mean, in order for them to actually utilize it and keep it, they had to commission. They would have to directly collab with Marvel, or they would have to directly collaborate with Fox.
Yes, and there's no denying. I would say Marvel did a much better job of Fantastic Four than Fox ever did.
Okay, I kind of have a soft spot for Fantastic Four. The first Fantastic Four film, the one with Galactus, was god awful, but the first one was pretty good. I mean, I came up during that time, so and it's Chris Evans as the Human Torch. Like seriously,
the one thing I didn't like about it was how they got the powers. I'm like, what is so wrong with him hitting cosmic rays and a freaking like rocket or a space shuttle? Why did he be on a space station? And this was like where they assumed Doom has something to do with the origins of this movie. He had nothing to do with it at all.
That's the thing, because I think in most versions, Doom's either part of the crew, or he's sabotaged in some way. And even then, depending on the version, his disfigurement's not even that bad.
Yeah, it was this movie, Fan Fortress, and the unreleased movie that Doom has something involved with the backstory of Fantastic Four getting the powers, despite the fact that he has nothing to do with it at all. And then Marvel finally got this right with their version. And plus, that movie featured the Red Ghost, even though we didn't really see him, but we saw his apes.
Okay.
We see Mole Man. I appreciate the movie basically it's like this is something people want to see for Fantastic Four, have all these villains who are not Doctor Doom get a spotlight. And they did a great job with that, in my opinion.
Okay.
Though there was a rumor I heard that that they had John Malkovich as Red Ghost, but they cut his scenes.
Yeah, he was supposed to get a speaking role. I heard that rumor as well, but they cut it for time.
Mole Man was an interesting one where he's played by Paul Walter Hausen, who does a pretty good job playing him. Though I gotta admit, it's a very different interpretation of the character. But one thing people don't know about the guy, he's also a part-time wrestler.
Really?
Yeah, he wrestles for MLW. And he did like one match for AEW, a Extreme Rules match at a Ring of Honor pay-per-view that was held at the ECW Arena in Philadelphia, which he lost, but he earned his opponent's respect after the match because basically he put the effort in. I think I heard something. He was trained by Or at least I think he handed his training Paul London, which I remember him being shorter, and then I seen him recently. Like he apparently grew 10 inches in the last saw him. He's like very tall now.
Hmm.
And for some reason, you look at him, he looks like Keanu Reeves.
You
I
know,
don't
now
know.
you mention it.
Also, he put on some weight too.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of weight because I remember him being thinner when he was younger.
Mm.
Now he's a bit chubby, but not like overweight per se, but he is a bit chunky in the belly. That's how he is nowadays. And he wears like a full bodysuit. He acts like he's freaking Elvis wearing that bodysuit. At last I saw him, he was being put through a table by Paul Walter Hausen about Riot back in January. But this event, House of M, was good. I think it was Bendis' first major event. You could say Disassemble kind of was, but this had more last effects than Disassemble did.
Mm-hmm.
And this effects went on for 7 years. And started basically, in my opinion, a really good half decade of Marvel. From 05 to 2012 was fantastic. Because
I completely agree.
Yeah, there was some misses per se, but it was just a damn good period of time. But then after AVX, stuff changed. Like Mara's obsession with the number one. You okay, J Heat?
Yeah, just had to stretch for a second.
Yeah, because after House of M, it's like Mara's obsessed with number one, and books sometimes don't sell very well, so gotta axe them.
You do. That's just the nature of the beast.
Yes, because Mara's obsessed with it. Like, if you look at, let's say, DC, the only book recently that had a relaunch was Batman. And that was it. That's the past year. And actually, books, DC has axed, I think in the past year, they've even axed maybe like, I'd say 5-10 books. Mara's axed like freaking 20.
Yeah, Marvel's gone through so many relaunches. It's not even funny at this point. Like they relaunch like every 6 months.
That. I think it was this editor. I don't know who it was, where you said, "Be lucky you get 10 issues," and I think that turned people off Marvel. It's like the only books that last longer than 10 issues nowadays have been like some of the Spider-Man books and Avengers and the X books. Like after X-Men did the Age of Evolution crossover, they reduced their ongoing series count from, I think it was like 12 they had. I think they're down to like 6. They got X-Men and Kenny X-Men, Wolverine, Wade Wilson Deadpool, Generation X-23, and there was one other one, and Gloria's X-Force. And that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And the Miles Morales Spider-Man, once again, got relaunched after only releasing 42 issues. Marvel loves that number for Miles for some reason.
But while we're on the topic, what recent comics have you looked into?
I would say that one book that I don't know if people are talking about this book. This book is really good. Doctor Strange by Derek Landy.
Okay, that I've heard that was a good. I heard that was a good run so far.
Yeah, it's a book that I don't hear a lot of people talking about. This one, have you?
I've heard a little here and there on social media, but like I said, man, I haven't read Marvel consistently since Secret Empire.
Yeah, Iron Man is pretty good. Thor has just been still here in the park. Al Ewing is still doing an amazing job with this Mortal Thor stuff, and apparently by 800, which is coming up, he's going to be trying to fix them where you restore reality. Where it was revealed in the Doctor Strange book, where apparently, like, he is like the only person not associated with Asgard who remembers Thor as a person. When he talks to his beautiful wife about it, she's like, "You hung out with Norse mythology?" and she completely forgot the fact he was the Avenger
Mm.
because it was in Immortal Thor 25 where you have someone guessing Five Marvel's Avengers, Ant-Man, Wasp, Hulk, Beta Ray Bill, and you got some hate for it. And I'm like, lady, Beta Ray Bill was not Five Marvel's Avengers. He wasn't even created yet. But I'm sure they're gonna fix this soon. Because I had to think that this would not last more than a year before they were gonna bring back Thor properly.
Yeah,
Though
they
it's
always.
interesting though he's using an old alias that Walt Simonson came back in the 80s.
Mm.
Stuart Johnson was an alias he assumed when he came back to Earth during Walt. That was the thing. He came back to Earth, and he would beard, and he got involved with X Factor. But that was a really interesting idea of him bringing back that alias. And his hammer is just like a big mallet hammer, not Mjolnir. Where, like, I think in a recent issue, he decided to randomly run into the Minotaur. You know, the one who's CEO of Raxon.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he randomly runs into him. He's just like, oh, you're Stuart Johnson. And Thor has no idea who the heck this is. He's completely lost his memory of who the heck Dagger Agro is. And then Hulk is basically just, it's like a demon took his own possession of the Hulk form, and it's just separating from Bruce Banner. The first time in years this happened, where Infernal Hulk is basically like a demon Hulk.
That is terrifying to imagine.
Yeah, this is how Kenny Johnson's writing him. And I think this might be I think it's the only book Phil Kenny Johnson's writing from Marvel right now, just Hulk. I was kind of surprised they relaunched the book after only 30 issues when it was Incredible Hulk, and then become Infernal Hulk. I was surprised about that.
That is surprising, not gonna lie.
Yeah, and it looks like for Avengers, because I was curious, because Jed McKay's one just ended. I'm like, who is the thing for Jed McKay? It's not Bendis. Chip Zdarsky. Do you find that odd choice?
That is an odd choice.
Because right now he's running Captain America.
Better than John Ridley.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, they had Bendis. Why not have him doing our run Avengers? Oh, no, let's bring in Zdarsky. Okay, a guy who wrote like one miniseries. This hasn't affected Marvel say? No, it does not. The effects were reversed thanks to AVX.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. In the universe, no, it does not. The effects were, a lot was reversed. Basic, a big thing was reversed was the mutant power ring. That was reversed. Because Scarlet Witch worked with New Mutant Hope Summers to undo that. Because that was Hope Summers' power. She can activate powers. Somehow. They do this after the really good Second Coming crossover.
Because comics, ladies and gentlemen. Because comics.
Yeah. That and I think that crossover site, I think Second Coming, I think that's on our docket at some point too. And that came out the same year as Siege.
You know, I almost forgot Siege existed. I don't know why, but it's man Siege.
Here's the thing: Link Hard just reviewed it recently for Advanced Comics Month.
Okay, I ought to check his video out. But
yeah, that was the most recent one. It was the second most recent one he did because last one he was Forever Evil. Next one he's doing is an event that came out 11 years ago, Secret Wars 2015.
Ooh.
That's going to be interesting for review. It's actually going to be the longest event he's worked on. And apparently he was so happy to review Siege because it was so short. 4 issues. If you think about all the events Marvel does, I think Siege is one of the shortest crossovers Marvel's ever done.
I don't think it got any tie-in issues, if I remember correctly.
It did. Just Avengers, it was just New Avengers, Dark Avengers, Avengers Initiative, Thunderbolts, Doc Overy, and New Mutants, and it was like one issue. Doc, it was like two, I think it was like 3 issues. But also just Avengers books and Thunderbolts and Thor. And there was also one shots. I think also like one time miniseries, Siege and Body, which focused on Volstagg, where he was up to off screen. What he was up to because he basically interacted with Frontline, which was the new company that was started after Civil War One, headed by Ben Urich, which that Frontline became the new Daily Bugle, thanks to Jameson buying back the shares from Daniel Bennett. That was 2 years after basically this happened.
Mm-hmm.
Post, one more day.
The less said about that. Yep.
And a storyline that is despised by all comic fans. When I met Joe Quesada, I never brought up the story to him because I'm sure he's got a lot of hate for that event over the years. So I just talked to him about Azrael and because he created Azrael.
He did.
Yeah, I talked a little about that. I didn't talk very long, because I think the last time he was like a convention, I think there was like a line frame, he had like a ticket. This time, no ticket. I just walked to the table, got an autograph, chat with him very quickly. The one person who was there, I did not talk to her at all, purely because basically because of what she did with Tim Drake. Megan Fitzmartin. She was there.
You met Megan Fitzmartin?
No.
Okay, you just noticed her. Okay.
I knew she was there. You know what I did?
What'd you do?
Walked by her table. Never stopped. I had nothing to say to her. Because if I did, I'd probably yell at her for basically saying, how dare you basically out Tim Drake is by? And I'm sure she's got a lot of hate for that. A lot of hate. So I'd rather just keep on walking and get other people's autographs and not her. I had nothing for the sign anyways.
It'd be like that, man, sometimes, man. It'd be like that.
Yep.
But House of M was a pretty straightforward storyline. We'll do a quick Q&A. Anything you guys want to add to the chat? Anything you want to say or ask us?
Yeah,
and then we'll wrap
think
up.
Our next event. What is our next event? What next story we'll do?
Let me see. Hold on, I still have the tab pulled up. Next is
I think a DC one is next.
Yeah, DC is next. Let's see. Infinite Crisis. How about that?
Okay. I actually have the trade for that.
You still have you have the trade for that? Okay, that's awesome.
I bought Barnes Noble years ago. I still have it. I have it on my shelf behind me.
Well, Cameron, you're gonna get your wish. Next Comic Blaze episode will be Infinite Crisis. Almost 20 years later, too. How about that?
Yep, and I think our next stream after this probably be Bar to Two Blue Vortex.
Chapter 35, I believe.
Yes, I think afterwards, I think next stream after that, probably another regular Anime Blaze, which I think it might be Racer Hero Season 3.
Yep, that'll be it.
Yep. Probably do Comic Blaze after that, or probably next Solicits.
I'll go ahead and confirm now. Now, first off, if you celebrated, happy 4th of July, America's birthday, 250 years. But we will try to push for Infinite Crisis to be 4th of July late at night, around 10 p.m. unless there's a conflict. But I will post in my community tab if that changes. Oh, and I guess nobody wanted to queue or talk. It'd be like that sometimes.
Yep.
But before we wrap up, Nick, any final thoughts or what you got going on for your channel?
Let's see. I have some anime reviews tomorrow. I think I might have a comic corner coming tomorrow, and I think that's it. If anybody want to check out House of M, I think the trade is still available. I don't think it's fallen out of print. Surprise! I don't think it has that I know of. I think Marvel did a printing of this one probably a few years ago because I remember. I think it's still in print. Last time I checked, the main event.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the tie-ins, but I'm pretty sure the main event is still in circulation.
Yes, because I don't think Marvel let this one follow circulation. Probably, I think the only tie-in might be circulation still is probably Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe Wolverine, maybe in Can the X-Men? I think that's it.
But as for me, I recently was on collabed on MSK on a podcast episode with MSK. We had a fun time on that. Be sure to check that out on the channel. Also, stay tuned for my Supergirl review. That's probably going to be pre-recorded and come out this weekend, as well as my Mandalorian Grogu, though I did have to push that one back due to technical difficulties. Oh, what's up, Tevia? How's it going?
Wow,
Wait,
that's
I think he's saying was a mess.
Someone in the aftermath, but the main event, no.
No, the tie-ins, yes, but the main book was pretty straightforward.
Yeah, it's an event where it had tie-ins, with the exception of a few. It's not really necessary to read the tie-ins at all.
Yeah, it's kind of like Flashpoint in a way. It's extra context, but you could just go off the main book and you could still get the core story for the most part.
In the case of Flashpoint, probably the only time you probably should read is Batman.
Yeah, because that goes into that's the only tie-in that's worthwhile.
And it's good.
Maybe Aquaman and Wonder Woman's because the whole Atlantean Amazon Civil War.
If I remember correctly, I believe the Batman one was done by Brian Azzarello, which I think was like the only time I could think of he ever did a tie-in miniseries for an event for DC that I could think of.
Yeah, and he didn't get another gig until like 3 years later for the Injustice tie-in comics.
Yes.
Wait, didn't Azzarello take over year 3 onward after year 3?
Yes, he did.
Okay, because I know Tom Taylor did the first couple of volumes.
Yeah, and Tom Taylor came back for year 5.
Okay, that's why. Okay.
Yeah. Azzarello, I met him. Very nice guy. According to him, the last storyline that Jim Lee worked on that came on time was Superman for Tomorrow. And that's according to Brian Azzarello. Though you could say also that Justice League, his Justice League book, well, I could tell that came all on time. But I think after that, I think anything else he did, delay. I mean, Hush was heavily delayed, and that finally wrapped up.
Yeah, Hush 2 was a disappointment.
And it was not Loeb's fault; it was all Jim Lee.
Yeah, I mean he's trying to run the artistic vision of the company and get artwork in at the same time. So it was just the best out of a bad situation.
If I were him, if he couldn't come a book on time, like because I heard they're supposed to do another follow up this one, why don't you just have Ed McGuinness team with Jeff Loeb and do Hush in their Hush show? But get what happened at the end of the story. I don't think we're going to get a Hush story after this.
I don't think so either. Or if we do, it's going to be completely repackaged.
Yeah, because can't do anything with Tim Sale because he passed away. So I would say the only person that Jeff Loeb is clever who's still alive, who I would love to see more from this guy, is Ed McGuinness.
Mm-hmm.
Because these two guys did Superman, Batman. They did that series, and it was awesome. They also worked on Superman together. I think there was one book they worked on Hulk, Volume 2. They worked on that together too. They worked on like I think it was like 3 or 4 books together, and I think that was it. Not many, surprisingly. I can't think of any book they work on together. Can you?
Those are the main ones that come to mind.
Yeah. As far as I can tell, if they're collected, Batman, yeah, that's collected. It's got new printings out, which are probably a lot better, more worth to get those than the older trades because the older trades kept missing stuff. The Superman stuff, I know that some of Loeb's run is in trade, but not all of it. Hulk, yeah, that's in trade. There's an Epic Collection for that too. For what the work he did with Emma Guinness in that book. That's all fully in trade, and it's got the Modern Epic Collection, which came out in the last couple of years. So plenty of stuff for that. Bendis, as far as I can tell, I think like mostly everything he worked at Marvel is still in circulation, as far as I can tell. In mostly new printings or Epic collections. Because I don't think anything has fallen out of print that I can think of. And for one thing, you can't blame him for Secret Empire because that was not his fault.
Yeah. Wouldn't be the first time my writer got screwed over by editorial.
I think the last bit he had worked on at Marvel was Civil War 2.
Mm-hmm.
He did House of M, obviously. He did not do Civil War 1. That was Mark Millar. I think after House of M, next event he worked on would not be until Secret Invasion. He did Siege. I think after Siege he did AVX, Battle for the Atom. And the last one was Civil War 2. Okay, I'll be right back.
Take your time. All right, while we're waiting on Nick to come back, since Tevye is here. Thank you. Oh, speaking of alternative reality, remind me, did you guys cover Secret Wars 2026? Read this new Secret Wars 2026? What if? Because I reviewed it. I may have to check that out. Thank you for reminding me of that, Tevye. But as for the comics I've reviewed, I recently read Batman's Matt Faction run. I'm really just waiting for Bad Seeds to kick off. It's a bit of a slow burn, relaunch, a new jumping on point. It has some nitpicks, but overall, I think Matt Faction's Batman is pretty good for what it is. Dan Waters' Nightwing run is still going strong. What's another one? That's a non-Batman book. Superman, I'm kind of enjoying Superman for the most part, especially after especially with the reign of the Superboys motif. The Earth 3 Ultra Boy reveal I kind of saw coming from a mile away, but overall, I feel like Reign of the Superboys is going to wrap up. John is going to commit to being Tomorrow Man with Titans, and then go from there. As for Superboy Prime, it's not that I don't mind Superboy Prime getting his own series or being a focused character. It's just that it's like Ambush Bug, It's like it's cracking the fourth wall for the sake of cracking the fourth wall. Going too meta can get too annoying real fast.
Yeah, and he's gosh almighty, Jesus. Ugh. There's a bug crawling around me. I'm good. He's in the main Superman title, Superboy Prime.
Mm-hmm.
Which they had the most recent issue. He confronted the man who he murdered in Infinite Crisis. Earth 2 Superman. I'm like, aren't you dead? I could have sworn that Super Prime killed him. We'll talk about that for next Comic Plays because, oh boy, that is something. Because that basically got John some flack. And a lot of the stuff also for that event was stuff that Dan DiDio was fault too, which I think Deal himself is taking blame for some of that stuff that event too. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that for Comic Plays.
Oh man. Infinite Crisis.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. I'd say of the Superman books, I'd say all of them are good.
Yeah.
Limited is pretty interesting. Except for John Kent, which that's different. It's interesting. Slot writing John Kent. I think he's doing a pretty good job writing John Kent.
So far, so good.
They do reference that him and Jay are no longer a couple, which good because that was terrible. I didn't know Alan was gay.
All I'm gonna say on that is the Ultra Boy reveal. I feel like you could have executed it differently. All these are good ideas, just mid to poor execution.
Did you see what the Celeste look like for League of Superheroes?
No, I have not.
It is like one of the most bizarre things. Like you have Saturday Girl look like she's wearing like 5 shirts.
5 shirts?
Yeah. look up basically Lead to It by Joshua Williamson. It is like I probably need to send you an image because it is.
Yeah, just private chat. Send it to me on the private chat. Um,
I'm trying to think what good one there's there. Just League Unlimited.
Okay. Do you? No, the Ultra Boy thing was to be expected. I mean, I like I said, I saw it coming from like a mile away, but I wouldn't say it's a slap to the face. It's just DC is now in the situation to where the reason that take My Adventures of Superman for example, why they're just using John Kent because from a commerce and distribution standpoint, John is a blank slate. Connor is an extension of the Superboy IP, therefore that still causes litigation and issues with the creator's family, with the families of the estate, the creator's estate. So it's easier to adapt and it's cheaper, I should say, to pay a licensing fee to adapt John than it is Connor. That's why even with Superman and Lois, they didn't use Connor at all. They didn't even reference his name.
I sent you a picture of what Williamson's version of the original Agent looks like. I sent you on.
Oh,
Twitter.
you directly DM'd it to me. Okay, I'm about to say. All right, I'll take a look at that.
Yeah, we're on the cover. It's Superman with Michael J. Fox.
Huh.
Because it's like I look at this outfit, I'm like, Saturn Girl, like, what in the world is with the outfits? I don't know if this is the pre-Zero version of Saturn Girl or a different version because no version's ever really dressed like this.
I'm sure it's just a gag cover.
Yeah. Guess I'm curious. My favorite Superman with John Kent trunks. Well, My Adventures Superman. I watched first episode of it. I didn't like it at all because it didn't feel like Superman. Superman's not like Goku, and Lois has got a race change. You have Deathstroke look like his son Jericho. Livewire is a random criminal.
Wait, wasn't Livewire always a random criminal?
Yeah, but she had powers. This version did not. It was so weird seeing that.
But one
oh, did you hear about this? So Super Sentai isn't pulled from Tubi.
It's not?
Yeah, the license expired.
Oh, so they're about to pull it. Man.
It's taken off Tubi. And Shout Factory doesn't have on their website anymore. It says, so I know it's like someone confirmed to someone emailed them. Shout confirmed someone emailed them their Super Sentai license has ended. I'm like, why is like some people are blaming Hasbro for this, for taking all the oh good gosh almighty, it's a cockroach in my room. Yeah. I thought I got it. I don't know if I did. Not sure why it's in here. Anyways. So, yeah.
Hold on. Speaking of My Adventures, are you guys excited about? I'm intrigued about My Adventures of Green Lantern because it's not every day you get to see Jessica Cruz get an animated series. So
yeah, one thing I thought was really weird is they included Kyle Rayner's first girlfriend in the show.
Who? Oh, Kyle Jade. Okay,
not Jade. The woman who got put in her refrigerator.
Holy crap, that was her.
Alex DeWitt.
Okay, actually off topic, how do you guys feel about the new Sony giving up on physical disc and focusing
I saw that today.
Yeah, I did hear about that. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, if they're trying to
they're trying to phase out. Apparently this is going to be full effect by 2028.
They're trying to phase out physical media, which That would be a sad day indeed.
Yeah, because this is probably gonna be a day where no one's gonna buy Sony games anymore.
Yeah. Speaking. Oh, now, you know what? I was gonna say this for a different stream, but I might as well bring it up now. The gaming industry may have to bring the console wars back just to stay afloat because the Steam, I mean, you got the Nintendo Switch 2 going up almost $560 a month. Now you got the PlayStation PS5 Pro going up to almost 1,000, and Lord knows what Xbox is going to do if they decide to upgrade their console. And now the Steam machine is almost $1,500. Do you know you can get a custom PC setup from scratch for $1,500?
Yeah, I'm not on Steam Deck, so the only person I know who has one is Stevie Richards.
Stevie Richards has a Steam machine?
Yeah, he has Steam Deck. He mentioned on his podcast. Yeah, he has one. He actually played the recent WWE 2K release on it, which I'm hearing from them that the game sucks.
Mm.
It's like virtually unplayable. The new one that just came out, and plus also the game ripped people off.
2K
Like,
in general or just WWE?
The recent game that came out, they ripped people off because on the cover of one of the games they had the NWO and Soko Steve Austin, the Attitude Era stuff, and you had to pay extra for these characters, these people. I'm like, why? People are paying $100 this game already. Why in the world you pay extra?
It don't make no sense, man. God knows it just don't make no
Because
sense.
I heard the last game that came out was really good. This one was just bad. Like the gameplay is completely wrong. Yeah, and Madden, I've heard they've not changed their ways in years. It's like,
oh no.
I saw Angry Joe did this one review of one of the games where the graphics were the same graphics in the last year's game.
Now, Angry Joe, I kind of have a funny relationship with Angry Joe because Angry Joe to me, he was one of the first few YouTubers I officially subscribed to when I was a kid. And now he's just making especially now with the Supergirl movie and it flopping, he's just made a complete shill out of himself. And he hasn't been, and from a content creator standpoint, this man hasn't been relevant since like 2018. So I bet this is a publicity stunt, and at worst, I mean, he's beefing with just about everybody on Twitter. He's been at it for almost a week straight. If you follow his content,
mm-hmm.
and it's just a sad thing to see.
At least someone like Linkara, he doesn't really do a lot of social media stuff, but he does put out his content every week. He tries to. You still there?
I'm still here.
Yeah. He probably Booth here King wants to join again.
Oh, sure. You got a few more minutes?
Yeah, I have a day out tomorrow.
Okay, I'll go ahead and add the link in the background. I'll add it in the chat and just hop on in.
Yeah. Well, I know we can't exactly invite Tivia because he'll go out of control.
Okay, Tevia, if you are willing to come by, just behave yourself and try not to go off topic. If you can promise that and keep it to a minimum, you can hop on.
Mm-hmm.
All right. While we're waiting on our first guest,
I have actually next 2 days off. That's what
hey man, you've earned it, man. Enjoy it.
Yeah, it's weird. My schedule this week is I work today, off 2 days, work Saturday, off Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and working Tuesday.
Wait, you're only working 3 days a week?
Yeah, for this week it's weird. It is so bizarre. Because I think a lot of people are on vacation. So I guess that was the reason for it.
Yeah, because of the holiday. It makes sense.
Yeah. I heard a lot of people didn't like the recent Supergirl movie because
no. I'm sorry to catch up. Go ahead.
People said they like the actor play Supergirl, where they call her ugly, which that's not nice to say about a woman. They didn't like the script And so one person, the best thing movie was Lobo. Which
I will say this. Hold on. Technical difficulties. I will say this. Shout out to the FSS Effects cast and crew. I'm sure Millie Alcock did did the best with what she was given. But let's be honest, there was no sound. This movie felt 5 years too late. Because this didn't feel like a Supergirl movie. This didn't feel like a superhero movie. I'll go into more detail in my official review, but this movie was just hot garbage. I don't think and not to mention, we're kind of on a downtrend of superhero movies. We're not in the same days as like the MCU proper in like the 2010s. We're in a completely different vibe now, especially post-COVID. And I just feel like that. I mean, I knew Supergirl 2026 was going to flop, but I didn't think it was going to be this bad.
Yeah, I do kind of know about the spoiler that happens movie, but I'm still hoping to see it soon. I may see it at this point. I'll probably see it Sunday because of some weird reason. My movie theater, they don't start playing movies during the week until like 4:00 in the afternoon.
Yep.
Oh, hey, I had a similar situation with my movie. Tevia, if you're gonna reference something from the movie, try to keep it non-spoiler.
Yeah, I'll give you not spoiler part, but I would say that this movie butchered the soap material badly.
Okay, Movie Theater King, anything you want to add before Tevia goes on his rant? Movie Theater King, can you hear us?
Movie King, you see it?
Well, yeah, we're living in an age where superhero movies. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
we can
Can
hear
you
you.
hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you.
Can you hear
Please
me?
We
continue.
hear you.
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Yep.
We can hear you.
We hear you loud and clear.
Okay. Well, we don't live in those days because a lot of the time superhero movies weren't as mainstream. Coming into the mainstream thanks to stuff like the JLU, teen and young kids superhero cartoons in the early 90s and 2000s. But with like stuff like some Fantastic Four movies, though we've seen a bunch of those, the MCU films, and just certain superhero films here and there, like the days of early comic book movies coming to the big screen. We've all gotten used to that. It's like, great, you finally got the mainstream to pay attention to comics book movies. Now give us good stories or stuff that's a higher taste, because like there was a standard. So some movies have started surpassing that standard, but Hollywood wants to, we're gonna love this. But like, if you've like, for example, anyone heard of the Amazing Digital Circus?
Yeah. I heard it.
I've heard of it. I haven't seen it, but I've heard of it.
I've never heard of it.
I've heard it been out in theaters.
Yeah,
Please continue,
Well,
Movie Theater King.
it's an indie animation that actually, it's an indie animation that actually hit the big screen for a couple days, and it was like
Right.
a worldwide sensation for a while, millions upon millions. And
I
it
heard
was
the
an
indie
indie
sucked.
thing. It wasn't like mainstream or anything. And so
Was
was
it-
like what's her name? Vivian Majano. A lot of these indie creators are starting to hit the mainstream, so that's like the newest thing that Hollywood might try to pick up on. And with superhero films, we've all had our taste in full of them. We would like more, but we just want better stories and better tastes. Like, let's say the actor for Supergirl, she's great. I mean, I don't have anything against her. She's okay, but
She's good
with
with what
the
she's
whole
given.
writing, it's like the directors
Yeah.
didn't pay attention to the
Do you
source
agree?
material.
People calling her ugly is
Mhm.
stupid.
Yeah, she doesn't deserve that smear campaign. But I did one of the interviews I
Where
had
do they
seen.
get that from?
One of the interviews in the promotion I had seen, it sounds like she had a little too much champagne and got baited to saying a lot of nonsense during.
We respect, I think, from the interviewers. They don't give it a context.
They really don't, and it just comes with the business.
Yeah.
But yeah, And the worst part is
Yeah.
James Gunn is going to salvage. He's going to find work some type of way, even if he's just writing off royalties. But as for Millie, this was a breakout role for her. I don't think she has anything outside of the early episodes of House of the Dragon when Rhaenyra was a kid to her name. And she I'm not saying she's going to be the next Rachel Zegler, but she's definitely going to take a hit from this, commercially
It's
speaking.
just sad.
As
It's
far as
not
I
her
can tell,
fault.
she never put her foot in
Did
her mouth
we
on
lose
Twitter.
Jay Heath?
Huh?
Yeah, they lost you.
Mm.
What'd you say, Movie Theater King?
Well,
Yeah, we kind of lost you for a second.
Oh, okay. I was saying that. Okay, thank you. Can you hear me now? Can you guys hear me now?
yeah, we hear you. I hear you.
Okay, thank you. I was pretty much saying that James Gunn is always going to find work. He's going to bounce back regardless of whether DC kicks him or not. But Millie Alcock is definitely going to take a hit from this, commercially speaking,
Agreed.
which is sad. I'm not saying she's going to be the next Rachel Zegler, but she's definitely going to have a hard time getting work.
Got it.
Yeah,
Well,
the actors who play these
Yuck.
movies, this is like
Kill
some of their
the
big
content.
chances, and some of their big chances are stuff like.
mm,
You hate to see it.
Yeah, and the reason I've heard people called her ugly because she didn't smile.
Wait,
well,
wait, Captain? They're pulling Captain Marvel tactics. Like, who's saying this?
I'm
Well,
confused.
people are calling her ugly because of her scowly face. But the
Okay,
actress is Supergirl.
but that's the point of the story. The story at the end, she's depressed. She's not in a happy state.
Yeah,
That's
and I'm
how
like,
they get right.
okay. And people also upset her because she's not like a
Yep.
Barbie. Like people call, she's not like the Barbie doll actresses who played her before. I'm like, they're not the actors who previously played Supergirl were not Barbie doll actresses.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
Yeah, that's what he described. I'm like this was the first Supergirl movie released since the 80s.
1984, I believe.
Yes, with
1984,
Helen
I think you're
Slater,
right.
who came back to play Supergirl without the mother in the Supergirl TV show. I mean, she is technically, if you think about it, she's like I think she is the, let's see, 1, 2, 3, fifth Supergirl actress. Fifth. And the second one to receive on a solo movie.
Yep.
And
So,
of the two, at least she had a freaking budget to do special effects compared to the one from the 80s, where
Ooh.
there's a famous scene where you have her fighting nothing for a whole scene.
Yep. There was no budget for that movie.
Yeah, and the thing was that movie, Helen Slater, she was fine as Supergirl. She was perfectly fine.
The story was good.
Great casting. The script was just crap, but great casting.
Mhm.
Great
I
casting.
find it funny and sad that Supergirl had 2 movies that came out in this decade, and they all failed. Which I want.
Well, technically, she was in the Flash movie, but she was a supporting.
That was a glorified cameo.
Mess.
Yeah.
Did a bad Flashpoint. He didn't.
Yeah,
bad
and
in this book.
yeah, I read that Wonder Girl book. That book. I'm thinking like of all books for Supergirl, I think the reason I picked that one because that one kind of sold pretty well.
It was
And-
critically
and-
acclaimed
Yeah.
from an
Well,
audience.
all of it
standpoint,
played.
the book
Always
is mid.
gorgeous.
The art is great, but the story is mid. It's
Yeah, story
basically
is made. I agree with you there.
it's,
I kind of
it's
described it as basically Supergirl, like almost like a version of Conan the Barbarian in space.
I would argue.
Yeah,
I would
kind of.
argue
It's
True
made out
Grit in
of True
space.
Grit.
Yeah, I would argue more True Grit, but that's not a bad comparison. Movie Theater King, your thoughts?
Mm-hmm. Hello?
In agreement
Theater
with
King?
everybody.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
there must be a lag there. Okay. All right. What's
In
another thing?
agreement with everyone.
Thank you, Movie Theater
Thank
King.
you. Mhm.
What's another thing we can talk about? Okay, so can someone please tell me? Okay, Tevia, you brought this up. Last thing I want to mention, and then you can rant away.
Okay.
Why is the market so bad that we are contemplating $1,500 for a console? $1,500 for the
Yeah.
Steam machine and the Steam Deck. Movie Theater King, please, I prefer your experience on this as well. But with that amount of money, not only could I finance a bloody car, if I was a true nerd, if I was a true gaming nerd locking in, I could set up a full custom PC from scratch.
Yep.
for $1,500. Like, what are we dealing with that much inflation? Like, this is beyond me.
Yeah. This is beyond me as well because this is a complete mess.
You ever did you know that Generation Z and
Hold on,
Yep.
he's lagging. Give him
did
a
you know
minute.
that Generation Z and Generation Alpha is turning to like retro games to like
I did not know that. That is very
Hey,
interesting.
yeah.
Generation Z and Generation Alpha are turning to retro games to satisfy their gamers' appetite because with a lot of these consoles, they're getting too expensive and you can't even keep some of the games. But with
Nope.
older
Because-
games, they may not have the same quality as the newer games,
But they're
but,
cheaper.
but they're fun. They're like what games used to be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they're cheaper too.
Yep.
Except for some of the
And-
special editions like Fire Emblem Fates Special Edition.
I
For a
remember
special-
that one. There's a reason
edition.
that game's infamous. But one more thing. As much as people love it, as much as a lot of people are going to get content and momentum
Not
off it,
game, other games.
I feel like GTA 6 is going to be overhyped. You're here to hear
It
first
is.
line first. I just feel like GTA 6 is going to be overhyped. They're already stacking specific story level content that you have to go through a freaking paywall, and that's not even factoring the microtransactions. GTA 6 is going to be a commercial disaster. I'm not going to say it's Cyberpunk bad, but it'll be pretty damn close.
And the finding, I think the thing
Speaking
is
of
no disc.
Cyberpunk, I think I heard
I
season 2
remember that.
soon.
One at a time, gentlemen. Nick,
Cyberpunk, the anime season 2 is coming out soon.
Yep.
Mhm.
okay.
I'm so excited for that. It's awesome.
I think they even announced Dubcast 2, but I've never seen the show. But
Yep.
anybody likes
Yeah.
it, go right ahead. I think it's streaming on. I think it's
Netflix.
Crunchyroll.
No,
Netflix?
no. I do it on Netflix.
Okay.
Will you ever think about? Oh, you might not have been part of that. You might not have been. Oh, sorry, Movie Theater King. Will you ever think about the review and the effects on? Okay, Movie Theater King. You might not have been on. You might not have been on time, but we did confirm that the next Comic Blaze episode was going to be Infinite Crisis.
With Give Me a Reason story and Super Prime having that kind of element now. Interesting.
Cool.
Yeah. So we're definitely going to prioritize that for. I want to get. I'll have to follow up with Nick for a date.
Yeah.
But I'll DM you on Twitter as well ahead of time. That way you can already be a part of the panel that day.
I have to work to join that panel at the 8 part report at the 8. Yeah.
But the moment you've all
Also,
been waiting for.
GTA 5 was one of the highest selling games of all time when it came out. Like
Mhm.
even now, it's made over $1 billion. No joke. $1 for every human alive on Earth. And
Wow.
the people who made it. No joke. You could look
No,
this
no.
up. You could even Google it right now.
I'm looking at the numbers right now.
And
I'm
the
not
people
going
who
to.
made it at the time were like,
If this is how my career ends. For every developer who
yeah,
worked
the
on
people
GTA
who
6, if I had to retire and write off royalties for the rest of my adult life, this was a good way to go out as a content community developer. This was a good way to go out. Like I wouldn't even care. I would just write off the royalties at this point. I wouldn't even care because I would have helped make this. If there is one game as a developer you want to go out on, it's GTA 5.
Yep. I agree down 100%.
But we're gonna do this segment very quickly. Remember, Tevia, you can talk about the comic. You just can't do any spoilers about the movie.
Gotcha.
All
My
right.
next question.
Let it rip.
Yep. Yeah, okay. Basically, the movie took the source material and said, we're not going to do so. It took the 4 on the to bring it all itself and 4 it away for a generic event story. Why? Well, you took this great story and 4 it away. And this card I made it into a great book. Well, Tom King, our favorite, he's my favorite writer. He just played one of the bad, which the rest of that book is better. But this book has been good. It drives me crazy that they took the story to mess it up. I wish it is though. Without spoiling the movie, if you love Jason Momoa, he's perfect. He's perfectly awesome. But he's not in the story at all. He's not in the story, period. But this movie messes the story so badly, the point is drove me insane, and it's just a bad season. And to show my rant of this movie, I hate this movie. It broke my heart, and this is disappointing. What a load. Again, a lot of spoilers to say. If you love Supergirl, you're not missing much. This movie is betrayed.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up, Najee? How's it going?
Hey, Nick, how you been doing?
Pretty
I'm
good,
good.
man. Just been caught up. But
I haven't
anything
seen
you want to
guys-
talk?
I haven't seen you guys in a while.
Hi.
Yeah. Najee, anything you want to talk about?
Yeah.
Anything we talked about, like Supergirl? Remember, if you're going to talk about Supergirl, no spoilers.
No, I'm not talking about Supergirl. 'Cause I saw a film, but I'm not
Okay.
gonna talk about it. But I want to check in how you guys been doing. 'Cause I've been
We appreciate you stopping by, Najee. We appreciate it.
what's up, Nick? How you been doing?
I'm doing good.
I've been trying to talk to you for a long time, but you
Yeah,
know,
I just
busy.
been really busy with other stuff, so I just haven't had time.
I'm sorry, man. I was trying to call you yesterday, and I mean to disturb you, like
Yeah, because I'm usually a lot of times at home. I'm usually watching something, or I'm doing a recording, or doing this.
It's what we know about that. Because I was trying to call you like with the other day, but your schedule is different now, so schedule.
Yeah, usually if I'm available for stream, I'm available a lot of days right now, except I can't do Thursday and Friday because I have a stream on Discord.
Oh, what about weekend?
Well, weekends like Saturday, yes, I can do Saturday, no problem.
Okay, I'll go back. I'll go call you on Saturday. But also, Jay, what you been up to?
As for me, similar. Just caught up with work and busy with other things.
I
But I
know,
appreciate-
I noticed you have a podcast now on your channel now, like week on I noticed you have a podcast now or something like that.
Something like that. But Najee, we all that we're kind of in the middle of a stream right now. But if you want to talk about any future collabs, you can DM me privately, and we'll set something up from there.
Okay, I have to go for minutes, but I'll talk to you guys soon. Okay,
Take care, Najee. It was good hanging out with you.
take care.
All right, back to the main show.
Wait, what the heck?
Yeah, Movie Theater King, thank you so much for your commentary in the background, your patience. Yeah, I'm gonna be objectively honest. The Supergirl brand is definitely gonna take a hit from this movie.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not gonna say it's gonna be catastrophic because there have been worse movies than this, but the box
The
office
comic is not going to be affected by this.
What makes you say that?
Affected? I'm confused.
The comic itself was really good. It's written by Sylvia Campbell, who's doing a really good job with the book. So
No. Written by Tom King. Tom
yeah,
King wrote this book.
the current comic out right now.
The current.
my
We're talking
bad.
about the overall brand of Supergirl outside of the comics. Comics wise, she's going to be fine, but in terms of any outside media or adaptations,
The
she's
only thing I
definitely.
could probably think of is maybe the only thing that if live action is out of the question, the only thing that she can do is animation.
Agreed. Which
Actually, that's not true. She's gonna be a man tomorrow.
that's already currently in development. That's ongoing right now. We're talking about
Sure.
future projects.
Oh yeah, future stuff.
Mhm.
That's a big tough.
As for the DCU,
What about
you-
the
you guys-
Supergirl TV show?
TV show ended a long time ago.
Okay. First, let's address that first and foremost. Out of all the Arrowverse shows, we all know they fell off by the end, but I would argue
Yeah.
Flash fell off the hardest. But at least you could tell with that show that was Supergirl. Yes, you could argue she was a gender bent Clark and called it a day, but you could tell that was Supergirl to some degree.
Agreed.
But with that being said, I just feel like with the DCU,
I mean, it's their brand.
they're not gonna reboot again because especially when you factor the Paramount merger and the money coming in from all the other factors in Saudi Arabia, they're not gonna do a third reboot back to back. They're gonna overhaul the slate. They're gonna stick to what they already have in the castings, so you don't have to worry about another reboot. With that being said, after Man of Tomorrow, at least in my opinion. Now, if I'm wrong, I will openly eat crow and acknowledge it to everybody here on stream in the chat. If after Man of Tomorrow, there's a good chance James Gunn is done and they're just going to overhaul the whole thing. They're not going to renew his contract after Man of Tomorrow comes out.
I think isn't still the Clayface movie still slated to come out?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the Clayface movie is still in motion. We got Clayface, we got Lanterns. Clayface has a relatively small budget and it's marketed for a release in Halloween. So you might be able to make a small budget with Clayface. So you might be able to save face here. But as for Lanterns, that is hit or miss. That could go either way. I'm gonna just be completely honest.
The worst part about that show came out on my birthday month. Happy birthday to me. August.
But Movie Theater King, what do you feel like the current slate is salvageable, or do you feel like the DCU was dead on arrival from the start?
I'm not curious about that. Movie again?
Hold on,
Okay.
you might be go ahead.
Let's not jump the gun. I said, let's not jump the James Gunn here.
I appreciate the pun. Please continue.
Still salvageable. The Superman film of 2025 was a solid B movie. It was a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
The films coming after, Supergirl. Yes, if we're being honest, if we're being really nice, I give it a D. I give the film a D.
That's fair. I can respect
Some
that.
people would give it a straight up F.
I give it an F, and yeah, because put this over to Barry.
I'll meet you right in the middle.
But-
I'll meet you right in the middle. I can't go
People
any higher.
The people at Warner Bros. And DC really got to pay attention because
Yeah.
they cannot mess up. I mean, they had the Snyderverse film universe and they was doing okay somewhat, but then they had to reboot it because reasons. And now with MCUs, they pretty much set a high standard that they. What you want to say something, Jay Heath?
They can't-
Go ahead.
No, you're good. Please continue. Please continue.
I'll
He
tell you
might
what,
be
with like
lagging.
DC, from my point of view, yeah, I'm sorry, I lag. It's just
It-
It's okay.
I don't
take,
know
your,
why.
take your time. Take your time.
From my
Movie
point
King.
of view, what's going to save DC media is basically let's have competent writers for the film universe if they can, and just treat it like a DC property and not like a Marvel ripoff or like insert funny joke here, insert funny joke here. Okay, let's get serious. Wait, why should I take you seriously when you were making jokes half the time?
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, I see potential in their like video games and animation departments. Like, I see My Adventures with Superman. It's good. It's good for
Mhm.
families and kids. And their
Yeah.
video games, they're getting a little better.
Yep.
Like, let's say Legacy of the Dark Knight was pretty good. I hear people saying good stuff about it.
It was a
Justice League
surprise
Cosmic Chaos was another good one.
hit.
Cosmic Chaos. I thought it was Marvel's thing. Marvel Cosmic Invasion. Were you thinking?
No, I'm talking about DC. It was that little chibi game from 2024.
Oh yeah, with the Mixie. I completely forgot about
Justice
that game.
League Cosmic Chaos. Yep.
Yeah, with Mixie, right?
It was pretty good. So when it comes to their animation and gaming
Nightfall,
department,
baby. Woo!
they have a leg up on Marvel for now.
One at a time, gentlemen. Movie Theater King, please continue.
Sorry.
They have a leg up on Marvel for now.
Mm-hmm.
But if Marvel decides to hit out with their bangers, like the X-Men are starting to come back to the mainstream again after like a few decades of going quiet. Like X-Men 97 season 2 is coming out. Marvel Wolverine is looking promising. But other than that, and maybe Spider-Man, what else do they have? with DC, they've been
Daredevil?
showing potential with Legos, a little bit of their little cheats, and maybe a little. I'm just saying, with Marvel, with no, wait, with
Uh-oh.
DC, they should try to experiment at least for now. Try to make like I know Wonder Woman's big. If not Wonder Woman, try a Magic System game on that, or even heck, even like a small games like with the Flash, Green Arrow, various others. There's potential for like DC video games. It doesn't have to be like that huge. It could be a small budget video game
Mm-hmm.
just to test it out and to see if people want to try different flavors of DC superheroes, because that's what Marvel isn't doing. They're sticking with people that they know will sell.
Mm-hmm.
They will always make a Batman game, and people will always buy it.
Yep.
So they're safe.
Mhm.
When in doubt, Batman it out.
Yep.
Same thing happened with the movies. Remember that? Where like for the longest time there was only
So
Batman
if
and
you
Justice
want
League.
Hmm?
It was the same thing with the movies where it
Mm-hmm.
was like just Batman or Justice League. Nothing
No
else.
Superman, no Flash, nothing.
Because DC was going through a rut. They went through 3 separate mergers within the past 15
So
years.
here's my pitch.
Uh-oh.
He accidentally muted himself.
Dang it.
Movie Theater
Well-
King. Can you hear us now?
Can you hear you?
You muted yourself.
Yeah, we get to hear what you
Well,
said.
I was about to say, can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, we hear you. We hear you. Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we
All
can hear
right.
you.
Yep.
Sorry, I just didn't want to talk over people. I try to be respectful.
It's okay.
So here's my pitch for DC. When it comes to video games, try different flavors of DC heroes. Try giving some of the spotlight. Fine, we may not get Wonder Woman yet, but try other heroines. Try a Supergirl video game. Try a Flash video game. Heck, even a Green Lantern video game. You can learn over the years. There are lots of flavors you can do. Like, try to go around like a city where you're Green Arrow and you're trying to hunt down like a syndicate, or be the Flash and you're trying to run over. Try to do like explore like certain areas on a map. And when it comes to their animation, try to make My Adventures with the Justice League universe, to where you start off with Superman. If it does well, which it is so far, try to expand with Wonder Woman, Batman, and maybe some others we haven't seen before.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now, you guys have a chance for that. Film universes again. Like, yeah, the Tomorrowverse didn't really do as well.
Yeah.
But you know what could potentially do well?
What is it?
Try niche hero super films again. Like, I remember
Mhm.
one time it was like the only Billy Batson movie was like Shazam and Superman versus Black Adam.
Mm-hmm.
That was good.
That,
That was great.
yes.
I
And
love
there
that
was
movie.
also the Flash with his Flashpoint movie.
Flash and
That was
Paradox.
really good.
Like
Actually,
DC has the money and potential to just try again with those shows. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Do you think this is a good idea?
I
Yes.
think it did. Oh, sorry.
I very much believe it's a good idea because, like you said, you got the biggest titles and IPs out there. You have momentum if you actually know what to do, and even what you suggested with like the niche mobile games, just if you keep the budget small and prioritize profitability, you can garner some momentum. Hell, even with the My Adventures series, you got Superman. Now you're spinning off into Green Lantern. You got some momentum there. So if Green Lantern does well, you can finally give Wonder Woman an animated series in this setting. Like there's ways around it. Like you said, it's just is all boils down to versatility. Are you going to put all your eggs in one basket? Or are you going to expand?
Here's the major question for the anime movies. Like, after Nightfall, what major storyline could they adapt that's not been adapted yet?
Ooh,
Forever.
I know one.
Is it Forever Evil?
Nope.
Okay, what is it?
Give up. Dark Knight Metal.
That requires some setup.
Okay,
Yes.
fine. If I can't do that,
Deadman's already been done. We already did that one.
Yep.
Nightfall's coming.
we did Crisis already and messed that up. We can't do that story.
Crisis has done like twice.
Is it Crisis maybe you can do?
There was live action
Oh, yeah,
anime,
twice.
so that one's out of the question.
Yeah.
One has not been done yet that I can think of is Legends.
I guess that can work. That could be a fun story.
Mm-hmm.
What's another story that could they did migrate in Super Sons already, so we can't use
I hope
them.
they don't try to do like another Superman.
There's a lot
There's
of
tons of
Superman
Superman
stories.
stories that
Yeah,
haven't
there's
been
10 different
animated yet.
stories. You could do Weaver, you could do New 52 maybe.
One thing that might
Hey,
be really
that's just
cool.
Wonder Woman and Flash again.
I agree. One of them would be fun.
Here's my good idea for Superman. What if they did a series of movies where they adapted the Triangle era outside of Death of Superman?
You mean after Devil Superman and Reign of Superman?
Like after the Reign of Superman, like the stuff that came afterwards.
The immediate
That's-
aftermath. But wouldn't that be Emerald Twilight? Well, that
yeah,
kind of,
Emerald Twilight, Green Lantern stuff, that would end in failure. We did
But
Emerald
there
Twilight.
If that's happened again, please adapt it properly, because when I heard the movie was terrible.
yeah, Beware. Okay, I wouldn't exactly call Beware My Power an adaptation of Emerald Twilight. Like I said, it was inspired by Emerald Twilight, but it deviates so much from it. It's a mess. It's trying to combine Hal Jordan's original Fall from Grace with the Parallax retcon, and it's just a bloated mess. Like if you want to prop up Jon Stewart, do it. Especially with you already have precedent with the DCAU, but don't just rip off Kyle Rayner's origin and call it a day. Like, come on, be creative here.
Also, don't kill Hal Jordan just to make Jon Stewart the bad Green Lantern. I hear that. That was dumb.
Yeah, if they're gonna establish Jon Stewart, like I would say probably the best option they can do with him.
Well, since we have our newest 2025 Superman, what do you think about them trying to do animated adaptation of Superman for all seasons? Whatever happened to
Be
the
fun.
Man of Tomorrow, Superman Birthright, and then Superman Up and Away as animated movies.
If you were going to do an animated movie or synergy project to coincide with Man of Tomorrow, you can't do Superman of all seasons because they're doing a Crypto of all seasons, so they're kind of using a similar naming convention. You could probably do Superman Birthright. Go into a bit more about the Kryptonian reveal. I'm not going to because you obviously got it from John Byrne's run. Was it John Byrne run? Superman
I think it
Birthright?
was John Byrne, yeah.
I think it. No, Birthright was done by a different writer.
Okay.
Yeah, Mark Gray wrote that story.
Wade did. He did that one. Yeah, he did that
Okay.
one. I think it replaced Secret Origin, which that was done by Jeff Johns and Gary Frank.
No,
Okay.
Secret Origin went after Birthright.
But Jeff Johns did write that one. Secret Origin.
Yes, he did.
Okay. Thank you for clearing that up because they obviously, and to those who don't know, basically that's not the sole in the context of that story. Clark wasn't sent to Earth to conquer it. Clark was sent to Earth because they believed, at least compared to themselves, humans or humanity were beneath them.
Yeah.
And it was just a safe place for Clark to lay low, thrive, and develop his powers.
Yeah.
Like Jor-El and his wife were scientific elitists. They weren't Viltrumites or Saiyans. I don't know why. Me personally, I don't know why. I guess they just wanted to have a twist.
I don't like that twist. It's so dumb.
But
What a twist!
Yep.
But
I
I
just said that.
I wouldn't have gone the whole alien invasion route. Like
Yeah, we've
If
done
it
that
was
so many times.
if they worded it in a way like, hey, you need to repopulate. If this was a desperate bid to save their race, then yeah, you could at least somewhat understand it. But as is, like, uh,
Yeah.
Oh,
Uh,
speaking of Asian, that has been adapted for live
Mhm.
action.
oh yeah, with Man of Steel.
No,
Oh.
Flash.
Oh yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah, General
It
Zod.
was the first big one they did after
Mhm.
after the two Flash Arrow crossovers. That was good. I enjoyed Invasion.
Oh yeah, Invasion. My bad. I got that mixed up. Sorry.
Yeah, that was even though it was kind of an adaptation of Invasion. The one thing they did after that story was there was a subplot toward the end of the series where they used a virus.
I thought it was a bomb.
Yeah, it was like a gene bomb, but it was spread like a virus.
Ah, that makes
And
sense.
Batman was affected by it too, but they couldn't use Batman in the story because Bat embargo.
Figures.
But then the next story was Crisis on Earth X. That was really good.
Yeah, that was
I
great.
thought it was really cool, and that was also kind of in a way the first loose live action adaptation of Superman, All-Star Superman.
Yep. With
And they
Supergirl.
gave that story to Supergirl, call her Overgirl, and she was the wife of Green Arrow.
Oh yeah, that was
Which was-
weird.
That was a bizarre idea.
Yeah.
I have nothing against Arrow.
Mhm.
I will give Arrow its flowers, but my only critique, it tried way too hard to be Batman. Like, if it weren't for the Bat embargo, because Gotham was still running at the time, that would have been a Batman show, and you can't convince me otherwise.
Yep.
Agreed.
One element from the early seasons of Arrow I was not a fan of. Count Vertigo was a drug dealer.
Yeah, they're talking about Scarecrow. It was dumb.
And
So
I did
I'm
talk to Mark.
thinking. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I did talk to Mark and Drake about that. He accepted my criticism of Count Vertigo's portrayal.
That's cool.
Yep. He basically like, because I most talk about Arrow because he worked on it. It was nice to meet the guy because he's the only person I've ever met who actually was associated with the Arrowverse. And he is one of the coolest guys to meet.
Speaking of story that could adapt, sorry to interrupt, Nick, but I have one more story they could adapt. Adapt Doomsday Clock.
That requires a lot of stuff, and that big thing. It did bring in some stuff, but some of the stuff toward the end, DC chose to ignore it.
Yeah, that made me mad and like that. But I said that
Yeah, the book was also delayed too.
they'll do it after the pretty.
As far as I can tell, this was the only book Jeff Johns worked on I can think of that got delayed.
Yeah.
Movie Theater King, you were going to say something earlier?
Hello?
He's lagging. Give him a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, let's say a new TV show with Cassie Sandsmark as or a movie starring Cassie Sandsmark trying to find Wonder Woman. And that's like her little origin story, meeting Wonder Woman one day and then being tasked with finding Wonder Woman. I'm just trying to find a way to maybe have the, My Adventures with Superman introduce Wonder Woman and give her own spin-off series and a potential movie. And her own psychic, because go ahead.
But if you're gonna do, let's say My Adventures, for example, but when making Steve Trevor the POV character the obvious choice in that ensemble,
Yeah.
not saying you can't do Cassie Sandsmark, but okay, let's use Superman for example. You have this ensemble that's gonna be, but you have one main character in the ensemble that acts as the POV in My Adventure. And for that is Lois Lane. Yes, Jimmy Olsen plays a supporting role, but at the end of the day, Lois is the main POV. As for My Adventure with Green Lantern, that's likely going to be either Kyle Rayner or his girlfriend that was infamously fridged.
Oh yeah, you told about that.
But as for Wonder, like that's a good pitch, Movie Theater King. That is a great pitch. But knowing DC, I feel like they're going to play it safe. And if they do in My Adventures with Wonder Woman, you can have Cassandra Cain be a part of the core ensemble, be the Wonder Girl or sidekick, and play a supporting role. But I feel like the main POV character in that ensemble is going to be Steve Trevor.
Hey, Steve Trevor. Why not like Donna Troy or even the friend Etta Candy?
Because you need some kind of romance plot, because that's just the dynamic they go with. You need some kind of romantic interest.
Yeah.
I mean, does it really have to be Steve Trevor though?
Like I said, Steve Trevor is the most direct and obvious choice. But if they want to create a new love interest or create an original character for the show, by all means, I would actually commend them for it. But Steve Trevor would be the direct option.
Honestly, I was about to say, of all things, what kind of teenage superhero group do you think could be like the rising star of this My Adventures universe?
Oh, that's
the Teen Titans, Young Justice, or who? Because there are plenty of teen superheroes.
Young Justice got was a revamped Teen Titans. It wasn't even a direct adaptation of the Young Justice team, or at least it wasn't an adaptation of the core four. They were kind of sprinkled. They were tacked on to season 2. But but as for Teen Titans, I kind of still have Teen Titans Go in the mix, and that could cause some brand confusion. So if I had to pick the two from a commercial standpoint, give Young Justice a shot. Because I Teen Titans would be ideal, but I don't know if they're still going to have Anna Nogueira with the DCU. I don't know if they're still going to prioritize that. And although we did get cameos of Teen Titans members during My Adventures of Superman season 3, that ensemble is so interpersonal and so core to the overall team. You can't really make a POV character for the Teen Titans unless you completely force it.
Yeah, it won't work.
Unless you're strictly going to adapt Judah's contract and make Tara the POV character before she transitions into a tragic villain towards the end of the season.
We've done that story so many times.
If you're just going to, the only way I could see, at least as a core premise, either a completely different lineup, or you would have Tara be the POV character.
Actually, speaking of teams, I do have one more team that they could do. And
Sure.
even I've seen for years. I know. I'm a down look at this team, but I love this team so much. Why not do a Super Ten at the animated show? We got the movie. Why not dive into that series? I know that we're begging at this point, but with John now being in My Adventures Superman, this could be a good spinoff to Super Tens. Now, when you have Batman show, well, we're gonna have two Batman.
Like I said, I mean, Super Sons is just a modern revamp of World's Finest, if we're really being logistical about it.
You do make a good point.
With that being said, the Super Sons movie, it flops. Yes, it was a direct-to-DVD release, but it did not sell well. Like, it was mid in sales. And don't get me started on the original comic, because the original comics for those two, they peaked at around 65,000 units in sales. After the first volume, it completely fell off. And even after multiple relaunches and spin-off titles, they never got up to that number again. I believe the second series peaked at 45,000 units. And
but My Adventures and challenging Super Sons. Yeah. But Challenge should be on a Disney series.
Yeah, I've talked to Mossy about that.
What do you say?
Where a lot of people's complaints about why the book ended was because of Bendis.
Agreed.
He wanted on Superman, and DC editorial let him on.
Yep.
Yeah, and because that they kind of everybody's plans for the books got screwed up because of him.
Yeah. Like this team got destroyed. And the rest is history.
Yeah, and basically Bendis is one of the reasons why Tomasi stopped working at DC.
Yeah.
Because it seems like anything he does gets done by a different writer or just ignored. One of the biggest examples was with Two-Face.
What they do with Two-Face?
In Batman Two-Face 20, which was Batman and Robin Volume 2, 28, it looked like that Two-Face killed himself by shooting the head. And then he randomly shows up in All-Star Batman, no explanation of how he survived. So Tomasi explained what happened with him in his run for detective. Because his run for detective was there to fix problems with the Batman characters. And he tried his best. He did fix a lot of problems. The only they couldn't fix was Damian quitting being Batman. But everything else, basically, he was able to try to fix. And there was a funny cover. I brothers, even he agreed this cover was so funny. Where you have the Joker on top of Batman and saying, "Knock, knock, is Amy under there?"
That's funny.
Yes, it was so funny. His run for detective. I've never heard anybody talk about his run for detective. It was amazing.
Because it gets blurred with everything that was going on in 5G. First of all,
Yeah.
I will be the first to say this, especially as a reboot or a relaunch. 5G would have tanked the overall line. It was not salvageable. At best, you were copying all new, all different Marvel. You were chasing headlines for the sake of chasing headlines, and none of these new characters, hardly any of them, you would have been able to get behind. And if you go by the Bleeding Cool article, this was just going to lead to a Kingdom Come ripoff, and not a good one.
A very bad ripoff.
The only character created for 5G that was popular was Yandra 4.
Yara and I believe Aqua Baby. Didn't they have a daughter, Aquaman and Mara?
She was actually in Aquaman first before she premiered 5G.
Okay, she debuted just before that. Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, but Yandra 4 is probably the most successful one, and they pushed her series, and
It got
the
canceled.
book got after only 7 issues. I'm like, I read this book; it wasn't terrible. I'm like, yeah, because it's Julie Jones.
Yep.
And I'm wondering, like, why did DC? Okay, so they pushed this book, and then they axed it at the short period of time. You think it's because it wasn't sold very well, or what?
I think I have a theory about that. My theory is that TV show that was announced for that book, it never happened. So maybe DC said, well, TV show not happening, we're going to abandon ship and pull the plug, and then we're going to nuke it in Trinity with Tom King. At least that's my theory. Now, can I have along with this? Yes, I can be wrong, but I don't know. It could be that case, or did it me get mixed up? But honestly, I just see the pattern here. It kind of makes sense, I think.
I get where you're coming from. I do. I get where you're coming from because Yara does have potential. Don't get me wrong. But even then, I mean, you also got what was
Jake Fox.
Thank you. And he's a deep cut from the 70s. And even then, the only reason Ridley went out of his way to use him was because, well, Luke would have been the obvious choice if you were going to have a black Batman for 5G, and he was trying to make a mystery out of it, and using Luke would have been the immediate answer. I do appreciate going unconventional, obscure characters, but when they revamped Jace, I feel like you might as well have just used Terry McGinnis. You get what I'm saying? You might as well. So,
Yeah.
I mean, punk kid trying to redeem and rebuild himself from an honest to God mistake. The only difference is instead of being a street punk, he's a spoiled rich kid who got cut off. I ain't gonna say it's boring. It's just you have to it's an overdog story instead of an underdog story. Which means it has to be crafted in a specific way. But
you don't worry about that.
But all in all, just 5G was never going to work from a conventional standpoint. Even Comic Story and God rest his soul, Benny.
Yeah.
He openly admitted if 5G had gone ahead, this would have tanked the entire line. This would have derailed and gotten DC outsourced. No one was going to support it.
Yeah. And it's like you said, Comic Story was right. Because 5G, you put the New 52 with a train wreck. No. This could work in the New 52. And I hate to say it, and I know people are going to hate me, but I'm not saying I hate New 52. That at least helped DC sell wide and did keep their foot. It was short term. Long term, it crashed and burned, but it did get people in the comics. So you know what? I'll give you credit. It did get people in the comics. If you don't give you, that's fantastic. I'm glad you at that line back in the day. I did not, but you gotta admit, it did help DC. For better or worse, it did help. Yep.
Even if behind the scenes was very toxic when the New 52 started.
That is
That's
true.
Yes,
That is true.
that's true.
Movie Theater King, anything you would like to add?
Mm-hmm.
Nope, not for now. But I
Okay.
think the absolute lines are coming great. I heard
Okay.
I watched a recent video from Comic Story and it talked about how Absolute Martian Manhunter will be known as one of the greatest of this era. For like of this decade at least.
It's definitely the weakest out of the absolute line. I will give you that. It is definitely the weakest title. If I had to rank them, it's Martian Manhunter at the very bottom, followed by Absolute Green Lantern, then Absolute Flash. I hate to do it, but Absolute Superman is at the third spot. I have to do it.
Yeah.
Absolute Batman at number 2, and then Absolute Wonder Woman at number 1. Compared to the mainline book with Tom King, and then you go over to Absolute Wonder Woman, read those two back to back, and tell me there's not a major. It is night and day. Your reading
Agreed.
experience.
Absolute Wonder Woman is one of the best I've seen in a long time.
Yep.
Like
indeed.
seriously, like that book has no right being as good as it is. Like
That book's
honestly,
fantastic. After my ranking, I think trying to do that, but wait, we begin. You want to do your ranking? Or we begin?
I think he's lagging again.
yeah, he's
Who,
like,
me? Oh, you want
Yeah.
my opinion?
yes.
So you want to do your ranking first, or should I?
Mm,
You can go first if you want.
Absolute Wonder Woman, Absolute Batman, Absolute Martian Manhunter, then Absolute Green Lantern. Absolute Superman's okay, but it's like top 5. Absolute Flash is like at the bottom for me. I just can't do it.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's fair.
Okay.
Mhm.
Nick, what about
Um,
you? How would you rate the line?
Well, I'm going to include the 2 new miniseries, Green Lantern, Green Arrow, and Catwoman.
Okay, we can include them too. We can
Yeah,
include
that
them
makes
too.
sense.
I was waiting
Yeah.
for them. I was waiting for them to finish, but let's go on ahead.
Up so far, I enjoy pretty much all the books. I would say probably the weakest book. I wouldn't say it's Flash. I know maybe you're thinking you don't like Flash much. I like Absolute Flash. I would say the weakest books is still kind of Superman.
Mm-hmm.
If I think of the best line, I think Absolute Batman's the best one in the line.
Easily
Yeah,
top 10.
Okay.
Yep. It's not because I'm a Batman fan, because I really enjoy the book. That's why.
Yeah, I agree with that. Mm-hmm.
Tevia, what about you?
For me, if I have to rank all of them, after much manner, is the weekend. It gets so confusing and so convoluted that I had to drop the book. Like, what's happening? This makes no sense. I'm out. Yep. After Green Lantern is second weakest because it's just so boring. Like, I tried to read that book and couldn't get it. I tried my
You
best.
don't like Frontier Lantern?
No. I'm never against her. I didn't see the fine character. It's just the story is just too convoluted and own good and too complicated. Yeah. After Flash, I think. Sorry.
I know she's a character was introduced with. I think it was Black Label. She was introduced in.
Yeah,
she was introduced in our book.
Black Label, for a sector.
Yeah. I'm surprised this character has never been criticized being woke or whatever. She is just a good character that has never. There's nothing really negative about the character.
Yeah, I know nothing against her. She's not a John's doing it that mess, but she's okay. She's a fine character. I know against her.
Mm-hmm.
What was that? Yeah. After Flash, it's fine. It's better than after watching my better than Absolute Green Lantern. My other weakest book is After Superman. I tried reading a trade after the book and just like This is boring. This is so generic. This is instrument. This is just not interesting. Yeah, potential people on board, but I just can't get into it. Yeah,
Were you
sucks.
surprised who the president of Lazarus Corporation was?
Not really. It was Rachel. It makes sense to be him.
Yeah.
But he didn't make the Superman book actually interesting.
Yeah, even though he's a Batman villain.
Yeah, you want Batman. You're right, that. Like after Superman, I dropped off because I just got so bored of the story. It is getting better finally. We'll probably pass that story now. Before I'm going something different with after Black Adam, which is actually interesting.
Speaking of
but
the
my
Absolute line, what do you guys think of the fact that Absolute Batman's getting animated?
I'm happy with that.
I am intrigued. I have been burned before.
That's fair.
And the comic has
Surprised.
lived around for like 2 years.
Just
Yep.
under 2
Yeah.
years. Just under
Yep.
2 years.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I'm never gonna finish my ranking.
Oh,
Okay.
go ahead, Tevia. Go ahead.
It's okay. Yeah. I have my two favorite out of the Absolute line. Well, if we include the main series. I haven't got Absolute Comic on yet because I haven't been able to stuff. I did see him do a video. It's really good. After Green Arrow, have not read that book yet. I did hear that's good. I'll put it to the book eventually. But my two favorite books out of this line.
It is good, Tivia. Absolute Green Arrow.
Nick. Yep, I'll probably check it out. My two favorite books that came out of this line is Don't Please. Absolute Batman is number one. Absolute Wonder Woman number two. Hold before we shoot my head off. Yeah, Absolute Wonder Woman is a great book. It's one of the best Wonder Woman we had in a decade because let's face it, the Tom King book is horrible and Trenick and it's garbage. That book is good. I will check that book out at the movie catch up. Yeah, I love that story. I love Diana Takeda. It's fun. Absolute Batman has been so fun and awesome. I mean, Absolute Joker, Jesus Christ, Absolute Joker is a more monster than regular Joker. You feel like a Joker insane? Hey, wrong. Absolute Joker is more psychotic, insane, and more tactical, smart. But I am shocked that Absolute Batman cannot take him down. I'm very sure I can take that this monster. Especially after Bane, amazing. Like I am so excited to have an effort to after Batman. I can't wait. Also, I forgot to mention. I love the team after Batman. After Wonder Woman. That team up was so fun. I love that team up. That was so fun.
Well,
Go ahead. I'll wait.
no, go ahead, Nick. Go ahead.
When I heard the trades that collect that crossover, the way they have it structured is that in the case of episode 101, the Batman portion is not in the trade.
Oh, that sucks.
They gave a text recap for it, so they thought it wasn't really necessary. They did the same thing with Batman as well. Go ahead, move with your King.
Honestly, I just have one thing I want to ask. What do you think of them having these titles? Absolute Carnage, Absolute Justice, Batman, Wonder Woman, Earth's absolute best or absolute greatest heroes as titles. Because
Those
consistently, go
Those
ahead.
aren't bad. Absolute Carnage is probably a little too similar to Marvel. You may have to tweak that one, but other than that,
Yeah.
those aren't bad.
Yeah,
Well, Absolute Carnage was a crossover.
Mm-hmm. 3-4 years ago, Nick, I could be wrong.
4 years ago at this point, I think.
It
4
was
years ago.
It was one of two major crossovers Donny Cates worked on. Yes, the one he did with Banner of War, that was a mini event, but Absolute Carnage was awesome.
Yeah, and King and Black was good too.
Uh-huh.
But now we got the sequel, Queen in Black. Whoop-de-doo.
What a minute, villain is Hella.
Mm-hmm. Well, I feel like that's a good place to call it. Thank y'all so much for joining us on the stream. We had a little fun. We all had fun. But anything, Tevia, anything you like to promote or you got coming up on your channel?
Hey, for promoting, I did 2 videos today. I did my video, What If Secret Wars 2026, and I did a rant video today on the Sony nonsense that happened. It's just so fucking dumb. What the heck are they doing? What are they thinking? After that, on my channel, I'll talk about the other Batman. Hopefully this week. I want to get back to this game, and I did get a new Starbucks game. I got Starbucks, say my review of this game in the future, but I do want to go back do reviews again. It's a bit of this game. If you love Starbucks, I highly recommend check it out. If you love Starbucks, I highly recommend it. I've been on my channel. I think Doom DLC is coming out. I'll be playing that DLC real soon. Other than that, I think that's all I got so far. Yep.
Okay. Movie Theater King, anything you got going on right now?
Not yet so far.
Okay. Thank you. Nick, you did your promo earlier, and I did mine earlier. Stay tuned for Comics Blaze review, Infinite Crisis. Hopefully, we'll be able to get that out within the week. Boruto Chubu Vortex Chapter 35. That'll come out hopefully this Saturday night. And like, comment, subscribe, guys. Thank y'all so much for watching tonight. Blame off.